Hey doggies. Feeling calm? Just my voice activates her system in a happy way, doesn't it? Okay, on the tail end, or the other side of my last video, I was talking about relaxation, and the other side of it is activation. Of course, in life, we have to move and we have to stop. And being activated is also a positive, can be a positive. But like everything in this world, it's a paradox. Things can go both ways. So, with relaxing, you may not have the ability to relax, so your body just shuts down, goes numb. And that's very different to being relaxed, open, aware, and feeling all the feelings, and being in your higher mind of consciously taking in the information whilst being grounded. And this is what happens to some people. Their nervous system just shuts down because they can't find a way to relax, so it just goes turn off. And that's where we get brain fog. That's where, I'm having it right now, all those problems occur where we can't function, we can't use our higher functioning. And the same as with activation. We need to feel activated in this world. Heavy metal makes me feel activated, makes me feel happy. But the other side of activation is being triggered and getting frustrated, and your emotions taking you to a place you don't want to go. Out of control, a chaotic place. So being activated in a controlled way, like running or doing exercise or talking to people who make you feel happy, that's a happy side of activation, and it's just as important as relaxing. It's a balance of both. And when we cotton onto these two things within our system, it's a sympathetic system, the oh buddy, parasympathetic system is to relax and activate. We can understand that it's just a systematic unconscious thing that's becoming conscious, and it's being given a story that has reason from our history, transgenerational trauma and memory, transgenerational not only trauma but insight and lifetime wisdom and lifetime trauma. There's positive negative things to our story. It's you can't have one without the other. It's always going to be this way. But getting to this neutral sweet spot means you can feel all the feelings and remain calm, feel all the feelings and be activated when you need to. And it's not in a chaotic, messy response kind of way. It's in a calm, I feel good, the love is there kind of way. Life is good kind of way. And then, yeah, at the end of the day, feeling safe enough to relax, calm down, or just when you're with people, to feel relaxed and calm within your own energy, with their energy, no matter what the situation is. Big game to play, but that's the game of life. If you just have one without the other, you will just meditate in a cave by yourself for the rest of your life. You will not be activated, you will not move. That's consciousness in the zero state. It's not moving, it just is, or it just isn't. It manifests to do something and to experience, and that's where we get duality, boom. And in this duality, we can feel separate and alone. And that is because when we see ourselves in the mirror of others, it's hard, it hurts. We can see how they're hurting, and we don't have the capacity or ability or tools to help them manage that, help calm their system down, or help activate their system and make them feel happy. But when we have more awareness, we can stay calm, we can activate together, have a good time, a fun time, or a productive time. We can calm down together, relax, chill, feel the vibe, feel neutral, feel easy. And that's all this is about, is trying to explain those two things. The chaotic energy, we want to stay away from it, or we thrive on it. It makes us feel alive. But there's another way to feel activated and happy. It doesn't have to be chaotic. And this is what I call freedom within the rules. Once you know the rules of something, you can have freedom to do what you want, and you know everybody understands what's going on. It's not going out of line, out of context. We do this in a professional setting. We know how we should professionally act at work. That's why there's rules. And in that professional setting, you act in a certain way so you don't say things that may upset people. Go into the personal realm. You have unspoken rules with your friends. I know when I mention these things, my friends will not get upset. They won't judge me. They know that deep down I'm a good person, and I may say something ridiculous, extreme, controversial, but underneath it, they will pull me up. They will keep me honest. They will pick me apart if they think it's going into unfair territory. Um, and if they understand that, even if it's spoken or unspoken, they know that deep down I don't believe that. Deep down, over the course of my life, or who I am now, I don't hold these stupid prejudices and controversial things as my belief system, in my belief system, as true. And that's a very different thing to just talk to someone at work who you don't know on a deeper personal level and be unprofessional and say something controversial in a joke or in a silly manner or whatever. And even if it's not controversial, just they may not get your humor, they may take it the wrong way. And that's all it is, just understanding, well, what's your rules? Like, what are your values? What's the framework surrounding you? And when you understand someone's framework in a non-judgmental way, you can be like, okay, don't hold that against you, but it doesn't really resonate with me. Just choose to not be around each other. Fair deal. Other times it's warning signs. I don't want to be around them. They don't understand themselves, and I don't understand them. And whoa, stay away. Okay, that's fair too. And that's all this is about: is showing the world that there's freedom within the rules, and there should be options. In the world of BDSM, the play space, they can create a play space, an act that's called consensual non-consensual. So you talk about what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with. You define the rules, and then there's freedom within those rules. Now we can be spontaneous. We can play together in a spontaneous way. You don't have to ask questions with every interaction. We can just be fun about it, because before we start playing, I know that I can kiss you on the neck, but I can't touch your elbow. I can smell your foot, but I can't smell your groin. Woo! Whatever it is, whatever thing that you like or don't like, you can put that forward, and in the play space, you can do that. And yes, that takes a lot of configuring and high functioning to keep those rules in place. But when you're in a calm state and your mind is functioning well, those rules are easy to apply. All the information coming in is saying this person's okay, they're not okay. The other important thing is they have a safe word. If something's not okay because it's consensual non-consent, you can use the safe word to unconsent the act, the action this person's taking, and that way you know you're safe, and everybody knows, oh, they've used the word, they don't feel okay anymore, I'll stop. And this is what we do in all spaces of our life, or want to do. We want to go to work, we want to know what's happening, we want to know the rules, and when we know the rules, we feel safe within that space. When people contradict the rules, or the rules aren't consistent across the board with different people in that workspace, you get confused. You're like, well, I know we're not supposed to act in that way, but that person did act in that way. That's not right. Or I was told to do things this way, and now they're doing them that way. That's not right. That confuses us. Yes. So we need clear, defined rules, whether it's for our actions or our behaviors, for our words, the way we conduct ourselves. And then we can have freedom within those rules. And it's the same with relationships. When you understand somebody, where their boundaries are, then when we approach topics and conversations, if we say something that triggers their system and upsets them, it's not personal, because you know, or you learn to know, that upsets that person. That's not I'm not going to identify with that thing. Like, you need to be able to accept this part of me for me to be your friend. You say, whoa, okay, when I act a little bit silly and controversial, this person gets activated. What's that about? You know, I'm not going to take that personally and say, you need to accept that part of me, otherwise we can't work. If you remain calm and go, okay, there's more to this here, what's going on for them? Why is that activating their system? If they're willing to do the work with you, you can bring to the surface what that is and discover what that is. And then it's no longer this battle between my identity versus your identity. And it's no longer this journey of, okay, the people in my life activate me, my parents, my family, my partner. I'm going to seek elsewhere. I'm going to seek comfort elsewhere. I want to calm my system elsewhere, or I want to activate my system in a fun way elsewhere. I'm going to, or if I can't find someone else to do it with, I'm going to escape. I'm going to escape into a video game, into virtual reality. My system's going to shut down and actually skew reality into a bias, which sometimes means you you shut off your higher functioning because you're just trying to stay safe. You're just trying to find a way to stay calm. You don't know how to approach the people in your life and say, hey, these things are upsetting me. You know, when I'm around you, I don't feel safe. I don't feel calm. It's I don't think you're meaning to do that, but that's what's happening. Why is that happening? And that's the bigger conversation. So it doesn't matter if it's play space, work, relationship. It's all the same thing. We're trying to figure out the rules so we can feel calm and safe, and then have fun within those rules. And as you grow in a professional setting, in a play setting, in a relationship, you can expand those boundaries and that framework to involve more things and have more fun and expand. And that's what a relationship is all about, that expansion. When you feel it closing up, because everything is creating stress in the system, and you have to find enjoyment, or I'm going to say surrender. Find something that calms you down outside of that. That's when our life gets discombobulated, and we're not working together anymore with the people within our proximity, our circle, whatever you'd like to call it, the people in our constellation. And we're forever seeking outside of ourselves, outside of our constellation, instead of working with the people around us and working with ourselves to understand ourselves better and understand them better. And that's the key to everything in this world. It's all a relationship. It's your interpretation, or it's what that thing represents to you. It's what that thing represents to you and how it makes your system feel. And you can change the relationship with that person if you can. Hey, little buddy, it's okay. I'm not trying to stress you out. I'm just trying to make a video. I'm here. Yeah, we can change the relationship with that interpretation of what that person represents to us. And that representation may be absolutely true. They're not trustworthy. They are dangerous. Or that interpretation of that representation may be wrong. They are trustworthy, but it's just the way they are triggers my fears. And that's a deeper conversation. It goes both ways. Do they need to adjust the way they are around me a bit? Or do I need to communicate better how they're making me feel? Because they're not mind readers and they don't understand what's going on in here. Most of us don't. That's the abstract reality in a world, and we're trying to bring forth into reality and understand. And sometimes only music can do it. Sometimes only art can do it. But it is the art of authentic relating that brings these things out, and we can work with people, friends, family, therapists, and bring it into the light and have some truth and then have some fun. Hey buddies.